So, good afternoon, both Arya Singh and Arya Divedi. Thank you so much for getting connected, Arya and Arya Singh and Arya Divedi. So, dear students, today we are going to continue with our revision of this lesson, elementary school classroom. Good afternoon, Tanvi and Aditya. So, we shall continue with this, and we shall try to wind it up, or if not feasible, then on Monday we shall wind it up, right? So, Tanvi, Arya, can any one of you confirm me if I'm audible to you loud and clear? If I'm audible to you loud and clear, please let me know so that I can continue with my lesson. Yeah. Good afternoon, Prakhar, Nidhi, Sravani, Pravash, Guneshwar, Sneha, Alma. Okay, 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 sure. So, dear students, I think I finished stanza 2 part 1, right? Stanza 2 part 1 I finished. Now, today stanza 2 part 2. No, part 2 is also over. Stanza 2 part 3 I have to start today. Okay. Stanza 2 part 2 is something that I need to teach you today. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, Ashutosh, Mayur, Priti. Good afternoon, all of you. Okay. You see, a narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, capes, and stars of wars. So, it is the location of the slum children which has been described in these two lines. Location of the slum children. A narrow street sealed in the place where the slum children live. The place where the slum children live is the place which is described here, right? Which is having a narrow street, and it appeared that the sky overhead, okay, sky overhead in the colony or in the street where they live, has the sky has a lead sky. Lead sky means their future is compared to a narrow street having dull sky. Lead sky means dull sky. Okay, their overhead sky doesn't seem to become sunny. Okay, does not become sunny. It is a dull sky. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. Far, far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. Far, 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 far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. Caves here, landscapes, and stars of words means here. The acquisition of radiant light of knowledge is like stars in the sky, which slum children cannot touch. Okay, so the acquisition of radiant light of knowledge is like stars in the sky, which slum children cannot touch. Right. So, a narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, capes, and stars of words. It means the place where the slum children are living. This particular street is a very narrow street, very small street, and it appears that the sky overhead the narrow street appears to be a lead sky, means a dull sky where there is no excess of sunshine, right? Far, far from rivers, caves, and stars of wars. So, as I told you in the very beginning, you might have seen that, like the writer said that, the poet said that the slum children are the slum children are away from any sea or river water bodies, like which is mentioned. It means the place where the slum children are living are not conducive to their growth, are not suitable for their emotional and physical growth, right? Because they are living in a place which is away from rivers, which are away from landscapes, which are away from stars of words. Stars of words here refers to actually like like radiant light of knowledge. They are away from access to education. They are away from the company of good people. Okay, they are away from getting a proper education, right? So stars of words have been metaphorically used in this line, which means they are away from radiant light of knowledge. Okay, like stars in the sky, which slum children cannot touch. Okay, stars of words. Okay, like stars we cannot touch. Likewise, these slum children cannot have access to good education. That is what is meant by stars of words, right? Like stars are away from us, we cannot touch. Same way, they cannot have access to good people or good education. Okay, radiant light of knowledge they are not having access to. So how can they grow? Okay, they are neither located in a place which is suitable for their emotional and physical growth, nor are they located in a place which from where they can have access to radiant light of knowledge. That is why it is very difficult for those children to have access, to have proper growth, to have access to education, to have access to their proper intellectual and physical and mental growth. Why? Because number one, they are away from nature, their location is not conducive to their growth, and number two, they are also away from the radiant light of knowledge. Understood? So now we can go through the paraphrase. Their future is filled with a dark and dull sky. The poet again says that their world is far away from the actual world of rivers and caves. Stars of words here refers to the acquisition of radiant light of knowledge, which is like stars in the sky, impossible for slum children to reach out to. Impossible for slum children to reach out to. Right. So, dear students, next let's move on to stanza 3, part 1. So, the poet says that Shakespeare is wicked, the map a bad example. Okay. Why is Shakespeare referred to as wicked? Because the bust of Shakespeare, bust means a head consisting of some marble, stone or something. Okay, that is called bust. Na? So, the bust of Shakespeare has been kept in the slum school classroom, which is quite irrelevant to the needs of the slum children. Quite irrelevant to the needs of the slum children, right? Which is quite irrelevant to the needs of the slum children. Why? Because the slum children cannot have access to the books of William Shakespeare. They cannot, because you need to have some intellectual maturity. Plus, you need to study certain level of, you need to finish certain level of education to be able to understand William Shakespeare. That is why Shakespeare is irrelevant in the classroom. And the map a bad example. Why is the world map a bad example in the classroom? Because their map, the map of the slum children, is the world which is outside the window and not the places which are located or which are mentioned in the map. Therefore, the map is also irrelevant, right? That is why the poet says that Shakespeare is wicked for them. Map is also a bad example because both the things are quite irrelevant to the slum children. With ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. For with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. Okay, so it means here you can see here you can see uh, the beautiful world depicted or presented on the classroom wall, like the sun, sheep, love, and care, only tempt them to steal because they cannot have access to this material world, right? So that is what is said. Like such a beautiful picture of civilization, picture of good cities, okay, is mentioned there. Okay, so with sheeps and sun and love tempting them to steal, tempting them to steal, they are tempting the children to steal something because they cannot have access to the beautiful sheep or beautiful place which is mentioned, which is there in the picture on the classroom, on the picture in the picture in the classroom. So this is what they cannot have access to. That is why they will resort to stealing in order to have certain things in their life. For lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes from fog to endless night. because the that's lives that slightly turn in their cramped holes. It means their existence in their congested houses will bring eternal fog and miseries in their lives. Okay, for lives that slightly turn in their cramped holes from fog. So they are the place where they're living have been compared to cramped holes. It is referred to as cramped holes. The slum, the congested place where they are living, has been compared to cramped holes. Okay, which is full of fog, and which will spread across from fog to endless night. Right. So the poet says that the picture of William Shakespeare on the classroom wall is irrelevant or meaningless, as slum children will have no opportunity to read books of William Shakespeare. Similarly, map is also a bad example, as these poor slum children can never visit such places as mentioned in the map. The beautiful world depicted or presented on the classroom wall, like the sun, ships, love, and care, only tempt them to steal, and then they live in cramped houses and there is no end to their misery. So you can write the meaning of these words from these paraphrases also. See, from this paraphrase sentence you can write the meaning of this line. Okay, because sometimes in the board exam they ask all this, like what does the poet mean by slyly turning their cramped holes. So you've got to write from here: they live in cramped houses and there is no end to their misery. Their continued existence in such cramped place will result in eternal fog and uncertain future in their lives. Right. Okay, now stanza 3, part 2. You see, of course, towards the end, the poet has become very much optimistic. The poem ends with a note of optimism, of course, but all throughout the otherwise all throughout the poem, it is having a pessimist tone. Okay, where there is no ray of hope for the children, slum children. But towards the end, he has shown a resolution. He has shown a solution to the you know mm, problem of the slum children. So we shall certainly find out, okay, what is the problem, what is the resolution of this problem. But as of now, till the end, it's all about the negative aspect of the slum life, negative aspect of the slum children, that has been highlighted by the poet. Okay, so now you see, on their slag heap, it means they are the victims of malnutrition. Their hips are very slag. On their slag heaps, these children wear skins. On their slag heap, these children wear skins, peeped through by bones and peeped through by bones. Okay, it means they are thus. It shows that they are the byproduct of malnutrition. Okay, are the victims of malnutrition. Whenever whatever they wear that doesn't fit in their body, and moreover their bones are quite visible through their skins, through the thin layer of their skins. Okay, there is hardly any flesh in their body, all bones. So their bones are visible through the thin layer of their skin. So that is why these children wear skins, wear not clothes, they wear skins. Understood? So the word wear has been used metaphorically here. Actually, these children wear skins, right? Peep through by bones. So it seems that they don't wear clothes. It seems they wear skins. Understood? And through this thin layer of skins, their bones are visible, and spectacles of steel with mended glass. They also wear specs, but these specs are, uh, you know, these specs comprise of mended glass or repaired glass. Actually, okay, means whenever their glass is broken, they repair it, they mend it. Okay, so they wear spectacles, but spectacles of mended glass, like bottle beads on stones, like bottle beads on stones. Okay, like when the bottles are broken onto stones, you know how the pieces get scattered. So likewise, their glass is also like bottle beads on stones. Okay, their glass is completely broken, but somehow they manage to put those bits together. Okay, put those glass fragments together. Okay, all of their time and space are foggy slum. All of their time and space are foggy slum. It means that all their time and space means space because they cannot go out of their slum, so they are confined here. All their time and space are confined. Time and space are foggy slum. Okay, their time because most of the time they stay in the slum, and their space because they are confined there. So their time and space are very foggy. Okay, means uncertain. The place where they are living, okay, is very as foggy, okay, as the foggy weather, as uncertain as the foggy weather. Okay, so blot their maps with slums as big as doom. So replace their map, replace their world map which is there in the classroom, replace the world map with slums. For them the map is their own slum, which is as big as doom, means which is something which is destructive in nature. Their slum is something which is as big as doom, means their slum is the source of destruction. The slum is the source of negativity. The slum is the source of their downfall. Okay, because these slums are not conducive to their physical, emotional, intellectual growth. Therefore, replace this map which is there in the classroom with a big slum, with the slum that they are living. Okay, so you see here, these kids are so thin that one can easily see their bones through the thin layer of skin. The perpetual or eternal state of poverty. The perpetual or eternal state of poverty is highlighted when the poet says that the glasses which these children wear are cracked and look like broken pieces of a bottle on a stone. The future of these slum children is uncertain. Therefore, the map on the classroom actually here represents the pathetic slums for the children, as they have no access to the world depicted in the map. Their map is their congested, cramped, and foggy slums only. So, what is their actual map? Their actual map is their congested, cramped, and foggy slums only. Okay. So, dear students, hopefully you understood. Okay, so you have to learn the meanings of this, like where skins peep through by bones. What is the meaning of this? They are very thin and their bones are visible through the thin layer of their skin, right? So these expressions you need to learn, dear students. Okay, now last stanza it seems. Okay, last stanza. Let's go through. Mm, okay, unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs break open till they break the town. Okay, so dear students, you see, there is a ray of hope suggested for the slum children. The writer says, the poet says that there the status of the slum children can be uplifted. Their status can be uplifted, or their status can be enhanced. Their status can be altogether changed if governor, inspector, or a visitor comes to the village and they think about giving access of education to the children by improving the infrastructure of the school and recruiting teachers for them. Okay, in that case, their fate or their status can change in future. So he is just giving a hint towards the end, getting a bit optimistic towards the end. The poet is becoming a bit optimistic towards the end. He's saying the poet means to say that unless government authorities like the governor and inspector visit the school and provide the infrastructure and educational resources to the slum children, their situation will not improve. Okay, so unless the governor, inspector, visitor, unless they do something, what will be until that time, until and unless they come, the map in the classroom is not their actual map. The map is the this map becomes their window. Okay, this map becomes their window because through window they can see the slum where they live. So the view outside the window is their real map, and these windows means this slum. Okay, like these windows means what? The place which is visible through the window. That is what is called windows. Okay, windows here means the window through which their slum can be visible. So this is a very confined place, like the burial chamber, like the catacombs means the burial chamber. Okay, because in Christianity, they bury the dead body. Okay, so they do not burn the dead bodies like us, right? So catacombs means the burial ground. Okay, the burial ground, confine the dead bodies inside it. Likewise, the slum also short their lives. Okay, the slum has confined the movement of the slum children the way catacombs do to the dead bodies. Okay, dead bodies. Okay, break open till they break the town. Okay, so you have to break or break. It is an appeal to the um, to the to the government authorities or NGO or any kind of philanthropist. Okay, it's a kind of a appeal or request to those people by the poet. He's saying that you have to break or break means you have to interfere. You have to interfere in their life. Break open everything, you interfere and interfere in their life till they break the town. Okay, till they become violent, because if they don't get privileges for many days together, many years together, then they might become violent, and then they will break the town. So before they break the town, you should break open means you deliberately try to enforce yourself, and you do something for the poor people, right? So here you see these windows catacombs is very important sentence, dear students. You need to learn this. That short upon their lives like these windows from here till catacombs you learn. Like the cemetery tombs shroud the dead bodies, the presence of slums outside their windows are also restrict their movement and holistic growth. Understood? Like the cemetery or tombs shroud the dead bodies, likewise the presence of slums outside their windows also restrict their movement and holistic growth. So the poet means to say that unless government authorities like the governor and inspector visit the school and provide the infrastructure and educational resources to the slum children, their situation will not improve. Next, if they are not given basic education, their map in the classroom will be just the cramped slum outside the classroom window. Right? Next, like the tomb or cemetery confines the dead body under the soil, like the slum that exists outside the classroom window will also restrict the growth and development of the child. So from there you can write the meaning of this phrase. Okay, like the tomb or cemetery confines the dead body under the soil, likewise the slum that exists outside the classroom window will also restrict the growth and development of the child. The poet requests the authorities to voluntarily take initiative to facilitate basic education. Otherwise, these children will grow up to become violent and indulge in destructive activities. Right? The poet requests the authorities to voluntarily take initiative to facilitate basic education. Otherwise, these children will grow up to become violent and indulge in destructive activities. So, dear students, NCERT solution is given here. You might have written. Those who haven't written, you can write the NCERT solution. Extra questions you can either read from this text or from this website, or you can write down. It's up to you. And there is an MCQ worksheet given. You have to you can take the quiz, okay, on this particular poem. For the MCQ worksheet, you can, like, you will click here and you go to the internal assessment, okay, section class 12. Okay, so there loss spring is there. You can see loss sorry loss spring is there, and this you have to sign in before that, right? So dear students, please do study this. Okay, do take the quiz. And Okay, so dear students, let us wind up here today. Monday we shall start something else. So a new lesson I'll start, and in the meantime, you please update your notebook. And if you have any query, please do text me. I'll resolve your queries. So thank you. Before you sign out, please do text me P so that I can take your attendance later on. Okay, dear students. Bye bye. Take care. Yes. Thank you. And next week, next Saturday onwards, I might start something new for you, which is based on your career or which might be related to your career. So I'll announce it shortly. I'm working on it, and at least once in a week we will discuss out of the box so that your communication skill improves, your English improves. Something beyond the textbook we'll discuss from next Saturday onwards, preferably on Google Meet, so that we can have two-way interaction, right? So mm, I'm looking forward to this. Let's see how it works on from next Saturday onwards. Okay. Okay, dear students. Bye bye. Take care and have a great weekend.